and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become KAILAShians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
KAILASA is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness, we can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. KAILASA is responsible to provide that to all human beings. KAILASA is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed.
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrusham Tattvamasya Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavaditam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, I offer my humble obeisance, my humble pranam at the divine lotus feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And I welcome each and every one of you who's joining us today for this Parashakti Akashic Reading program. I welcome each and every one of you who's joining us from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, all the thousands of de facto KAILASA embassies across the world, and as well all of you who are joining us from different various social media platforms, as well as in different countries, different time zones across the world. I welcome each and every one of you for the Parashakti Akashic Reading program, where we delve into the revelations of Devi Parashakti as she has given us and guided us for over the course of the last 1 year. And we have been graced with the divine presence of Devi Parashakti herself, the divine cosmic feminine and the cosmic mother. And through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, she has made herself available in order to care for us as a whole of humanity, as each and every one of us, no matter where we are going through so much, especially at this time. Devi is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. She is the source Shakti, the source energy, the source power. And she is the source where all of the billions and billions of universes have come out and go in. And Devi Parashakti is the source which all of us are from, which all of us are in currently, and which all of us are going to be merging back into. Today, out of her extreme love and compassion, Devi Parashakti is manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and gracing us, answering all of our questions, giving us boons, giving us and attending to our requests, our prayers, and as well revealing the past, present, and future, and also ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. The next slide, please.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become KAILAShians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
KAILASA is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest
Mm. 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 Mm.
we get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become KAILAShians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become KAILAShians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
KAILASA is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. KAILASA is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity. Withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything.
Nithyanandam, completing with all the viewers for the technical difficulties. Now let us move on. So the first and foremost relationship is mother, and your ability to learn, even your idea to relate, starts with mother. And mother is too important of a way to connect with what you think as life. In the Vedic tradition, our rishis were aware your ability to connect with mother should be directed towards the cosmos. It should inspire and it should awaken your consciousness. It should awaken your higher consciousness to express through you. And connecting with life as a mother is the most sweetest, easiest, beautiful way to connect with the whole universe itself. Today, out of his extreme love and compassion, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is manifesting as Devi Parashakti herself and gracing us, answering all of our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons and healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. So now let us understand what is the benefit of Darshan. And Samadhi, Sama is oneness, and Adi means source. So Samadhi means one with the source. Bhava means attitude or aspect. So Bhava Samadhi means being one with the source through a certain aspect. And Darshan means to have a glimpse of. In the Vedic tradition, it is used to describe the moment we behold a deity, an avatar, a saint, or enlightened being. As just seeing a being can cleanse lifetimes of karmas and create a deep and lasting transformation in the receiver. Darshan is a powerful superconscious vibration that is present around an avatar at all times. and he simply radiates darshan just as the sun continues to radiate light. The auspicious moment when the receiver is able to catch that becomes the moment of darshan for you, raising you to the next level of superconscious breakthrough and literally like hitting a reset button for your being. Now, these are the fundamentals of the science of Bhava Samadhi Darshan. First, the divine cosmic beings are real. They manifest from KAILASA, the enlightened time-space zone, and that they manifest through the Archavataras, the deities in temples, and through the Bhava Samadhi Darshans in Nijavataras. And if you're wondering what exactly the Bhava Samadhi Darshan is, Bhava Samadhi Darshan is the science of Nijavatara manifesting Paramashiva, the consciousness. It is where the formless, the being of Paramashiva, expresses through the Divya Sarira and manifests as Nijavatara, the physical form for us to experience Paramashiva. And Devi Parashakti expresses through the being of Rajarajeshwari and manifests as the Nijavatara, the physical form of Devi Meenakshi. And the Archavatara reflects the consciousness and the manifestation of superconscious energy, but human beings are not mature enough to receive the higher level experiences from the Archavatar directly. And the avatar, the physical embodied form, comes down to bridge the gap and create experience of superconscious energy inside of all of us. And the Bhava Samadhi Darshan literally can awaken your Kundalini Shakti, which is the latent potential human energy inside of every human being. And this influx of superconscious energy can visibly slow down the aging process and also improve immunity to disease. So during the darshan, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, and transform our lives. And this is happening through a physiological phenomenon that occurs within inside of each and every one of us called mirror neurons. Mirror neurons activate and process all the observed movements or information of the avatar just by seeing. That is, the entire body can silently and without moving receive what is happening elsewhere through a process of direct observation, experiencing the superconscious energy radiated by the avatar. And during this whole process, Devi Parashakti is revealing what is known as the Akashic Reading. Akashic Readings is not a prediction as you might think. It is a reading from the cosmic archives. Beyond space, creation and destruction happen simultaneously. In the dimension of time starts the past, present, and future. And because the Akashic records are stored in Akasha, the space dimension, there is no past, no present, and no future. That is why what you call as what has happened, happening, or yet to happen, everything is already clearly recorded. And you can simply retrieve those archives and change it with the help, with the guidance of Devi Parashakti herself. Now let us be introduced briefly to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, without whom we would not be able to have this divine digital experience. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, is the reviver of KAILASA, a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008 incarnation of Paramashiva, as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities as a lifestyle for humanity. And as well, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived the ancient indigenous kingdoms and is currently the present 293rd Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam of the Kailasha Shamala Pita Sarvagnipitam, which is one of the oldest Hindu papal states and monastic kingdoms, and was coronated as the successor in 2012 and has since been serving the religious and social-spiritual services for the whole public, the surrounding enlightenment ecosystem, in order to revive the most ancient way of living. The next slide, please. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also declared as the successor of the Arunachala Sarvagnipitam since the year 1994, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was only 16. The next slide, please. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the mission, the Nithyananda Sangha, to revive KAILASA internationally in 1999, as you can see here in the photographs of this period. And as well, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had founded Adi KAILASA Sarvagnipitam in 2003 on the 1st of January, and in 2002 the Supreme Founder of Hinduism had conducted the consecration of the land of the Adi KAILASA Sarvajñapītam, as you see here. The next slide, please. As well, the Supreme Founder of Hinduism was declared as the successor of the Bhagyanagara Sripura Sarvajñapītam in 2004. The next slide, please. And as well, the Supreme Founder of Hinduism is the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam of the Suryavamsa lineage from 2004. And the reviver of the Adi Pallava Sarvajñapītam from 2007. And coronated as the successor of the Kashi Sarvajñapītam from 2008. And officially coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar, the supreme spiritual head of the Mahanirvani Akada, the largest apex monastic order, and coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tanjavur Adinam, the Tiruvarur Adinam, as well as the Vedaranyam Adinam and the Pancharadikaram Adinam, which are all ancient Adinams that have ancient heritage and significance within Sanatana Hindu Dharma. The Supreme Founder of Hinduism is also coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Dharma Mukti Svargapuram Adinam from 2015, and as well coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Adipita Kollada Mutt in 2015 by Sri Shantavira Mahaswamigal, as you're seeing here. Finally, the Supreme Founder of Hinduism was elected with such a title by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders in 2015 with an event called the Atirudra Mahayaga. And today, the Supreme Founder of Hinduism is revered as the most prolific, most viewed guru in the digital world, read and watched by more than 1 billion plus followers, and the leader of the greatest Hindu digital nation with more than 1,000 Facebook channels, websites, Instagram initiatives, YouTube channels, Twitter channels, and web TV. And there, Swamiji has served over 27 years of tireless humanitarian services and initiatives, including free vegetarian food bank, medical services, natural disaster relief, women empowerment initiatives, conflict resolution and peace initiatives, sustainable Hindu practices, and various international agencies and bodies. Supreme Founder of Hinduism has also authored over 12,050 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, primarily English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, and translated into 50 languages. With over 20 million copies of these books and articles sold, read, and downloaded today, and established the Hindu Library with over 1 million books, 1 million Pali scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. And as well, over 10,000 hours of discourses and over 1 billion views on social media. And as well respected as the commentator of the sacred scriptures such as the Upanishad, the Bhagavad Gita, the Shiva Sutras, the Yoga Sutras, the Ashtavakra Gita, and the Jain Sutras. And as well, the Supreme Founder of Hinduism is honored as the leader of the Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader with recognition from the United States Senate as well as the United States House of Representatives. The next slide, please. And as well acclaimed as one of the top 100 spiritually influential living personalities by Watkins Mind, Body, Spirit magazine. And the reviver of the Sovereign Order of KAILASA, led by the Supreme Founder of Hinduism and the Nithyananda Order of monks, nuns, and the Hindu diaspora who are working for global peace and to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. And the establisher of the largest Hindu university in the world with satellite campuses in 150 countries, and having established over 1,000 KAILASA Enlightenment ecosystems, and the founder and reviver of over 100 Sarvajñapītas. So now that brings us to a conclusion of the introduction to today's program, as well as the Supreme Quantum of Hinduism. And I welcome you to join us for the rest of today's program, as we are going to be delving into the revelations of Devi Parashakti, and also we will be celebrating continued Nithyanandotsav, the 45th Avatar Dinotsavam celebrations and 21-day long festival. So we're also going to be continuing these occasion today as well. And for now, we're going to be moving on to the next segment after a quick break.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become KAILAShians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
KAILASA is proper customized spiritual service, helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. KAILASA is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service, helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you, and make you interested in enlightenment science. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. KAILASA is responsible to provide that to all human beings. KAILASA is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus.
Yes. Welcome back after a very quick break. Now let us enter into the next segment, where first we'll be understanding more about the extraordinary Shaktis, a unique science revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism from Sanatana Hindu Dharma. The Balasans and the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will be demonstrating the powers of third eye and sharing with all the experiences and results of the extraordinary power manifestation of the divine powers awakened in us by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism through Diksha or initiation. And in Darshan, after today's Darshan, today, all of us will be receiving initiation into third eye awakening and various other powers with the blessings and the grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We will be manifesting also the third eye, the powers of the third eye, seeing with the blindfolded and scanning the thought current. The third eye is the cosmic browsing center located between the brows, which is upon initiation, one can effortlessly express powers and see through the third eye just as you would through two eyes. The next slide, please. So what exactly are the Shaktis? Let's have a brief introduction. In the Vedagamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, Paramashiva reveals the elaborate detail that human being is hardwired to able to manifest 463 plus extraordinary Shaktis. And manifesting powers are described as a system, a method, and a science for human beings to explore the various human possibilities and powers and have access to various states of consciousness. And Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are divine and you need to manifest divine, and not that you are a man and you need to reach divine somehow. There's fundamental differences also between Shaktis and Siddhis. Shakti is expressed from the space of enlightenment as a side effect of feeling connection with divine and high integrity with the Guru. Shaktis are literally the source of enlightenment, and Siddhis are powers that manifest from tapas or penance for enlightenment. Siddhis are on the pathway to enlightenment. The next slide, please. And as well, Shaktis, Paramashiva manifests through the ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way for us after the initiation from the avatar. And as well, Shaktis are permanent, and Siddhis are, however, not permanent, and they also might divert you from enlightenment. And Paramashiva is a primordial divinity in Hinduism, the ultimate reality and cause, which is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, all-pervading, unchangeable, beyond time and space, form and causality, as a fundamental base of the Avyakta, the unmanifest, and the Vyakta, the manifest existence. He performs the Panchakritya, or the 5 cosmic acts of Srishti, creation, Sthiti, sovereign rulership and maintenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, through Bhava, pulling out of delusion, and Anugraha, liberating grace for all living entities. And today, we are each and every one of us blessed to be able to live in the same presence as the Avatar walks the planet Earth. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th living incarnation and representative of Paramashiva and the reviver of KAILASA, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation and great cosmic borderless Hindu nation. Ever since the beginning of the civilization, Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been a cradle of enlightened beings and highly advanced sciences. It was where the science of enlightenment and powers was lived and taught as a lifestyle. And for the first time in the modern day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving these yogic sciences and transmitting it to the world at a record-breaking way. As well, the knowledge and Shaktis and the science of manifesting these Shaktis are passed down from one generation to the next through the Diksha or initiation by the enlightened gurus. The Supreme Founder of Hinduism, being recognized as the incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught these sciences to revive the knowledge and to inspire millions across the world to manifest the powers. And these include from the disciplines of Vedanta Tantra, Sri Vidya, Yoga and Yogic powers, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, science of Aushadha, Advaita and Bhakti Yoga, Paramashivoham and Paramashivoham. You're seeing all the gurus of the Supreme Founder of Hinduism here, who had played a role in influencing the Supreme Founder of Hinduism from a young age and even before birth itself. The next slide, please. So now, how can we awaken these divine powers in us? Every ultimate truth or jnana mapped into your consciousness, prajna, manifests this possibility and power of every being, prajnana. And the science of power manifestation is authenticated through four aspects of evidence: the Shastra Pramana, which is the eternal, unchangeable truths revealed in sacred scriptures; the Apta Pramana, which is the experience and the results of the Aptas or authorities of Hinduism, the Vedic rishis, and the scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation; and also the Atma Pramana, the personal account of this millennium's avatar, the Supreme Founder of Hinduism himself. The next slide, please. And finally, we have the Pratyaksha Pramana, which is the empirical evidence from scientific observation and experimentation. The next slide, please. And Vedas are the ultimate superior scriptures. Sorry, if we can go back. Yes. In this power, now we're going to be understanding the power of body scanning. And in this power of body scanning, one awakens to the ability to scan illnesses, diseases, medically diagnosed issues, and provide solutions through the awakened third eye. And as I was explaining, the Vedas are the ultimate source scriptures, and Agamas are the applied science. So every single Tantra, everything has a application in our lives. And here is a Shastra Pramana, the scriptural reference from the Vedagamas to manifest powers of body scanning, which I'll now be chanting. Swadehe jagato vapi sukshma sukshma tarani cha tatvani yani nilayam dhyadvante vyajyade para. Which means Bhagavan Paramashiva says, cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constitutive principles of your whole body or the whole universe simultaneously consist of the essential reality. They are being absorbed in the source cause, Paramashiva, by the experience of such mystical awareness. One becomes complete from all thoughts, and ultimately the universal divine power, Paradevi, is revealed and the supreme power manifestation happens. The Apta Pramana for the power of body scanning is the great life of the Siddha, Terayar, and Agastya Muni. Agastya was a great, well-known rishi. We can go on to the next slide, please. Who was one of the most prominent disciples of Paramashiva himself. And his own disciple was called Terayar. The way that he got this name, particularly Terayar, is a very beautiful incident, an example of the power of body scanning. Yes. So one day a man was suffering a severe headache and came to Agastya Muni for healing. Agastya used the power of body scanning and identified the root cause of the headache. He revealed that there was a small tere, or a type of frog, sitting in the person's brain. And Agastya immediately instructs Tereyar, his disciple, to perform open-hand surgery and remove that frog. After the surgery is completed successfully, the person is healed and cured of the headache. And thus, he gained the name Tereyar. And in the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji has been manifesting the power of body scanning from a very young age, from birth itself, of course. And there's so many people who have come forward to see how just with one look, Swamiji could understand what they're going through, what is their past history, medical history, and also provide a solution. And here we have an example how Swamiji, after Swamiji had the multiple compound hand fracture, he was forced to go for surgery and therefore for medical checkups related to that. And at that time, they detected heavy metal quantity in Swamiji's different organs. It was revealed that Swamiji had been poisoned without anyone's knowledge. And Swamiji said that you use the diagnostic methods instead of medical facilities to study the body condition and also what the problem is, the imbalances that have happened. And with this, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had also been able to use allopathy as a second opinion to verify the findings and heal himself completely. So this is the benefit, the practical use of body scanning, where you can literally be able to manifest spiritual powers and heal individuals and see what exactly their problems might be. The Sakshi Pramana are the experiences and results of the extraordinary manifesting through the disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You can see here a couple of examples of manifestation of the power of body scanning in many disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So with this, now we're going to be moving into the demonstration of the powers of third eye. And if you would like to have a body scan right now, if you'd like to, you can request your request for a body scan. Just allow, and with the request, it will you can give your consent for the Balasans to body scan you, and they will be joining us shortly, and they can do a body scan. So they'll be able to see whatever you might we might have gone through, your current physical ailments, your current physical health, and they'll also be able to see the spiritual solution that you can apply in order to remedy what you might be going through. And while these are profound guidances that are given by the third eye, this is in no way equivalent to a medical professional's guidance. And we always suggest and advise that you go to a doctor, seek the guidance of a medical professional before you take up any of the solutions provided in the power of body scanning. So with this, we'll now be moving on into the demonstration, and we'll be right back with you after a quick break. Yes, you can go ahead and comment now. And in the meantime, we'll be right back with you after a quick break.
We get you help. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become KAILAShian.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world.
Nithyananda, we welcome each and every one of you for a very exciting segment of the power of body scanning. To everyone that is logged in with us right now, you all can take a few minutes and to leave a comment if you would like to have a body scanning as well, because just now we all heard about what are Shaktis and how you too can get these Shaktis and what are these Shaktis, how they are applicable for our life. We even saw description references for these Shaktis. Now, let us experientially see what are Shaktis and how one can benefit from manifesting these extraordinary Shaktis.
And all you need to do is just give your consent to us in the comment section in KAILASA's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel.
And
go ahead and just leave a comment if you would like to have your body scanning together.
And just a gentle reminder to everyone, as we all are entering into the power of body scanning. The power of body scanning is a manifestation of the pure state of consciousness, the space of Guru Bhakti, devotion or oneness with the avatar, with Paramashiva in the human form as Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So this in no way becomes a substitute or an alternative or an equivalent to any kind of medical diagnosis whatsoever. This is a pure manifestation of consciousness, and therefore we encourage each and every one of you that are watching us, if you are receiving a scan, we encourage and strongly advise each and every one of you to kindly get your medical opinion. Please verify with your doctor, get a medical opinion, and only then follow any of the suggestions that we give as a solutions to the third eye. Because this demonstration, the purpose of this demonstration is to share with you all the science with which you too can avail and benefit in your life. So let us get started with the manifestation of the power of body scanning. We already have so many of you who are commenting in the comment section. Ma Eva Anderson Nithyanandam, Ma Rudradevanaya Nithyanandam, Ma Sukha Yoga Nithyanandam, Ma Smriti Ananda Nithyanandam, Ma Jnana Pradayini Nithyanandam. Okay, we have so many of you. Rudradevanaya has requested Nithyanandam. Rudradevan here, I'm having back pain around my hip and backbone. Need to the root of pain healing instantly. Thank you, Nithyanandam. Sure, Aya.
So, Rudradevan here, this is Mahanityattva, and I'll be scanning and giving you the healing. Aya.
And Sumanyu has requested, Sumanyu has requested, Nithyanandam, Ma, I need body scanning if this could be accommodated today. Definitely, Ma. Anybody who wants body scanning can come in. We will be manifesting the power of body scanning with each and every one of you. So, sure, Ma, we will now manifest the power of body scanning. Ma Sumanyu, this is Ma Nithyanandita, and I'm going to be scanning you, and I can share with you what I'm seeing. So you all can stay tuned with us. Each and every one of you that are commenting, we just request a few minutes, so we will scan and share with you. So stay tuned with us, so that as we are commenting, as we are sharing, and as we are sharing with you all what we are seeing through the third eye, you can comment continuously, proactively, and let us know if you are able to relate to it. If there's some point that you want to tell particularly about, and what do you feel about the scan, you can continuously keep interacting with us so that we are sure that you have received our scan. So yes, Masamani, I'm going to be scanning now.
Rudradevanaya, Nithyanandam. So I'm going to be sharing with you what was revealed in my third eye. The first thing is, I'm seeing the cells towards your right bottom of the stomach. I mean, they almost be at the hip, this part. It is starting to multiply faster, and there is a chance that a small tumor is getting formed in your stomach, in the right, exactly the right side, lower half of the stomach, and lower towards your right. And second thing is there is like constipation in your stomach, which is what is giving you the pain. Even in your back, because the stomach is feeling very heavy, the back is also getting the same pressure. But the main pain is because of this. I'm seeing the cells, like I just got the exact vision of the cells multiplying faster in your right side corner of the, almost like near your hip region. And it is multiplying faster. And you might get a tumor, a small size tumor formation in your in your right side. Yeah. So this is the first thing that was shown. And second thing also is because the body's weight is more, the hip, back, as well as the knees, all these three would be feeling the pressure. That is also adding up for why you are feeling a lot of pressure and pain. So these are the two things I saw here. Sorry, I apologize. I'm just facing a small technical issue. Hope all of you are able to see us and hear us. And here there is also one other thing, because there has been an accident almost 2 years back, and in that you got like an accident where you fell down basically 2 years back, and that also has affected your nerve, where if you see, like at that time it was like more damage to your other parts of the body, but the back part was ignored, and there is like a nerve. Basically, like the bone is very slightly moved. That is why only if you sit down, or whenever you put the weight on that bone, basically when you sit down for a longer time, or like if put your if you curve your back and sit, or if you when you're walking and you walk and you stand a long time towards putting your weight towards your right side, you will be feeling the pain. But now, day before yesterday, you have done you have sat in a very uncomfortable position and you've given a quick jerk, like you have moved quickly. At that time, this muscle has just like சுளுக்கெடுக்கிறதுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா தமிழ்ல. So that is what has happened here. I'm sorry, I do not know the English word of it. So, but this is the issue that I am seeing. But do not worry about the tumor. Do not worry. It's just in the beginning process. Just instantly, first connect with Swamiji as Parashakti and do intense completion with your mother. Write down, if you just do mother completion, that will directly go into your bio-memory. From your bio-memory, there will be a shift. So this was what was revealed. Yeah, you can share how much you are able to relate with this scan.
Actually, Rudradevanaya, you can share with us if you heard the scan and whatever you were able to relate. One by one, you can actually start posting here. And thank you so much. You can let us know if you received the scan. And if there's any part which you need us to explain to you further, we can definitely do that. So please do let us know here. And Masumanyu, I scanned you, and one main thing that I'm seeing with your body is there's a lot of hormonal imbalance which is happening. Actually, continuously I'm seeing that there you like usually you will see that there'll be a lot of body hair growth which generally happens, like which happens fast, and this is a continuously, if you see, there'll be a lot of body hair growth, which I'm seeing, which generally happens very fast, even more than the normal, the normal time frame that generally takes for people. And all right, actually, just as I'm scanning, I would like to read out Rudradevanaya's comment. Rudradevanaya has commented saying, yes, ma, correct, understood, ma. Okay, ma, we'll do that completion now. And he says, yes, I do feel the nerve is knotted.
And here you will also be able to feel towards your right side, lower stomach. You can just acknowledge if I'm saying right. Exactly at one particular point, you'll be feeling like a pain generating from that point. So that is the point where I'm saying this, the cells are becoming like the tumor is starting to develop. The vayitla katti irukku solluvaanga illaya, that is the thing that I'm seeing. And do not worry, we can connect with you, we can give you healing. Request if you could kindly email us your contact details, like maybe your WhatsApp number or something, where we can reach out to you, we can connect with you, and we can give you healing. Just email that to contact@kailasa.org. I repeat, contact CONTACT at KAILASA KAILASA.org. Just go ahead and email to us. You can just put the subject as healing requested after the body scanning. So you can just let us know. And I have one more thing, your vision and the head pain that's associated with your vision will also get completed moment you start your completion with your mother, and then slowly lead that completion to your completion with life itself. You'll find so much healing. You'll suddenly see in your life, in many places, you are seeing things with a narrowed vision. You're judging things by just one particular thing, one particular logic. But moment that gets completed, moment that incompletion gets completed, suddenly your vision will open up wide, and you'll just not, you'll have very clear vision. So this is the next thing that is revealed here. And Rudradevan is also saying, yes, exactly right, right, yes, exactly right leg, and the pain at the lower back of the stomach and hip area. So you can thank Swamiji for revealing to you and being so compassionate and giving you this healing, giving you the solution. And all the people that are watching us live right now, if you feel this science that is being shared is benefiting you, or if you feel this science needs to reach the world, go ahead, contribute to Kailasa. Take Kailasa, just even $1 from just 1 penny, whatever, $1 from whatever your currency is, even that is a contribution you are doing to Kailasa. You're doing to take the science to the world. Yes.
Now, to all of you that are watching us right now, anyone of you are watching and you request a body scanning, every day at the same time will be manifesting this power of body scanning with all of you and different various other powers. So you all can tune in from 4 to 4:30 or 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and we'll be manifesting with you all. And now, Sumanyu Aya, I would, sorry for calling you mom, but yes, I would like to continue the scanning. See, the moment I closed my eyes, the first thing that I saw is the lower jaw. Okay. And then I saw that there's intense hormonal imbalance which is happening in your system at this point of time. If you see, your hair growth will be unusually more and in the body, and your hair fall in the head slightly would starting to increase. This is the first thing that I saw. And I saw this as an allergic reaction to some kind of a food you're consuming. Your body is reacting to some kind of a food you're consuming, food, or I particularly saw it like a drink. I'm not sure what exactly it is. It might be even water, but there is content of fluoride in that drink. So I'm just saying continuously, like you're drinking something, some liquid entering into your body, but I do not know if that's a particular medicine or if it's a particular drink that you're taking, but that has fluoride content, and that is entering into your system. It is impacting both your skin, and then the hair fall it is causing. And also one more thing is, it is causing a lot of dryness in the system. If you see how much ever you consume, the digestion will not be fast, and same with how much the body cleanses, that process, the metabolic activity of your body has come down a lot because of this particular toxin entering into your system. One more thing that I saw here, I saw that your the body has become very sensitive to any work that it does, and you will face a lot of frequent tiredness, loss of energy, or pain, which very easily happens where stress builds up at a particular part of your body very quick and fast. This is because of the deficiency of vitamin B. I saw vitamin B, because of which you'll have a lot of tiredness, weakness, many times, and like unusual. You will see, like suddenly you will unusually feel tired, even though just if you have consumed food, you will still feel unusual tiredness happening to you. And because of that heat generated in your system, you will even have headaches. This is a one set of like chain reactions happen because of this deficiency. And one more thing that I'm seeing is in your in the mouth, you will see many times you'll have odor. This is because of dryness again. And I'm seeing on the left side, the last tooth, or the last before the last one, there's a lot of the gums have receded. If you notice, when you brush, sometimes it bleeds there, and there's sensitivity in that region. So anything you consume, there's a sensitivity in that area of the tooth. So this is another thing that I saw here. And you can, Sumanyoya, you can let us know if you're able to relate with it. But mainly, I'm seeing more than physical issues. Something that you are consuming is not right, which is having quite a big impact in your body. I am seeing that I saw it as some food and some liquid. It can even be some medicines that you are having an intake of, but it is containing some strong toxins which are entering into your system, which is causing quite strong allergic reactions in your body. Your stomach, your whole gut, intestine is reacting to this. If you see, that's why many times there'll be some burning or some irritation. Your body as such is not having much of health impacts other than this toxin buildup, which is causing severe health impacts in your body. This is the main thing, like continuously I'm seeing. So if you're able to relate to this part in particular, you can confirm to me. So I'm sure you understood it. This is what I mainly saw.
Anmol Singh ji, I think last time we did the scan and you have commented back now saying Namaste. Thank you very much for that day healing underway. I'm so happy for that, Aya. And we can thank Swamiji for giving you that experience. My request you to please scan my mother. I have taken her permission. She even fell down and hurt her ankle since August. Still not healed. So Anmolji, I did do the scanning. So what was revealed was that actually much more than the physical pain, it is her psychological pain which is reflecting in so many things. Not just her ankle, whether her lungs feeling very weak, she feeling the chest pain very frequently, or her lower back pain that she is getting, or constantly feeling exhausted. And actually the back pain is both lower back as well as in this middle back region. And she's also experiencing like a lot of weakness in the body, and like she's even having a skin reaction that's happening in her knees, and like very like her skin is also losing that, it's becoming like slightly drier, and a lot of such things are happening to her body because she inside her is deciding again and again and again that literally almost to give up her life. Continuously she's having and cherishing a very self-destructive idea. So that is happening because she feels deep inside her a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, where she feels like everybody's against her, especially some of the relatives. She has a deep incompletion associated with the relatives. And that is what is causing her. And she also feels like giving up on life. She feels like she has not achieved the life that she wanted to have. And all these things put together is making her blind to see what is going on in her life, what she's actually being showered with. She's actually being showered so amazingly, but that incompletions are literally becoming like a thick, opaque screen for her. She's not able to see beyond that. So she needs to go through the healing, receive some of these blessings, and you can even get her for like the 16-day program called Paramashivoham, and you can just get her and make her experience the healing. Or you can also email us at contact@kailasa.org along with your contact information. You just give little more details saying that you received the scan from so and so person, and then you wanted to connect with them. So it could be easy. So just put that in the subject of the email and email us. Immediately we can connect and we can help you do the completion step by step. We also invite you, and you can get your mother to come and participate in Paramashivoham. It's just go, you can just find it online, paramashivoham.org. So that will really help her get the inner healing. Moment she gets the inner healing, even the vision being blurred for last 6 months or so, she would have been complaining to you that she's not able to see things clearly, and she'll keep on complaining about it. In different ways she'll complain. That is also because of this cognition. Even her body has not started becoming so weak yet. Her muscles are good, but because of these incompletions, she is consciously cherishing these cognitions, which is making her say no to life again and again and again, which is what is a manifestation of these diseases. So Anmol Singh ji, you can acknowledge.
Actually, Anmol has already, as the scan was happening, he's responded saying yes, yes. She even tells us all these things. Ayya, this will definitely help your mother, and we encourage you to try and apply these solutions. And you can also share with us about the particular details that Ma had shared, Ayya. And also Sumanyu Ayya has put, yes, can connect with everything, stomach, dental, and the last part of mental issue, moving pain in the body. And he's also asked, is it vitamin B or vitamin D you said, Ma, for the deficiency? Yeah, I saw it as vitamin B. And another vitamin B, the letter B. So that's what I saw.
B as
boy. Yeah. So vitamin B is a deficiency that I saw here. You can take the organic supplements for it, not supplements, but organic way how you can develop and increase the amount of vitamin B. Please attend to it that way, yeah. And in particular, are you able to connect with this food part? Because that is where I am seeing the major issues in your body is because of some consumption of that food and something which is not, but it is not like organic and not the usual stuff that you're taking in, and it is building up. Like I could clearly see a layer of toxins in your system, which is impacting you quite severely. That's actually the main reason of issues in your body for now. So you can let us know, if that part you were able to later, so I can share the solution.
And Anmol Singh ji also has gotten back again, saying, so true. Thank you, Ma. So grateful for everything. Can't thank you enough for this, Nithyananda. I really do not need to thank me. I'm just a medium. All these things, each thing that you got revealed right now is directly by Swamiji. It is Swamiji who has given us this Shakti, and it is through his energy that we are able to share all these sciences with you. So you can offer your gratitude to Swamiji, and you can also, as I was mentioning, you can connect to us directly by emailing contact@kailasa.org, and we'll reach out to you. And do come and attend the Paramashivoham session. And Sumanyu also commented saying, yes, vitamin B. Thank you so much. It was so nice to see all of your interaction. And I'm also seeing 2 more requests, my Eva Anderson and Sapir Ode. I'm so sorry, I really apologize. Because of the time constraint, we now need to move on to the for the sessions, and every day around the same timing we will be doing. You can come and join us at 4:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We will be actually doing the power manifestation at that time. So you can come and join us. And Sumanyu has also said, I'm vegetarian but can't connect any specific liquid, carbonated drinks sometimes.
Yes, it is not to do with non-veg, but it is to do with some consumption. It can be medicines or some kind of a juice or even your water, which has fluoride, I saw in particular. And then I also saw some amount of toxins. Maybe it can even be the water you're drinking, or it might be even, let's say, even the food that you're consuming. It can, or a particular ingredients that you add into your food. But I'm saying very strongly, like that is having an impact, and that is even causing a lot of what is that word? Like it is building a lot of toxins in your body. So that is in particular. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you can be a little bit more conscious, maybe, and you can let us know, because all the reactions in your body is because of those toxins. You have to intensely cleanse those toxins, take neem juice, and build a more healthier diet. So that and vitamin B, of course. So if you do all of this, the detoxification can happen and become more conscious about some things that you consume. It can even be the milk. Let's say if you're consuming milk, it can even be the milk source which might not be organic enough, or which might not be right, which might have some corruption in how it is produced. Even that can cause sometimes these issues. So please just check your food, and you can get back to me tomorrow if you were able to relate with it and if you're able to get it.
So thank you so much. We really thank all of you that who have participated today. It's so nice to see so much interaction happening. And one small reminder to everyone, due to KAILASA's digital security policy, we request everyone to kindly have your full name as your name in the YouTube, as well as your profile picture to be your photograph. And like especially if we have the live Satsang where you get a chance to directly interact with Swamiji, like get your prayers posted, everything. At that time, we will be removing the users that are not having the profile picture along with their photograph. So we really request you to kindly just accommodate yourself and adhere to this KAILASA's digital security policy. Thank you so much. And with this, we are now going to be moving to the next session after a short break.
We get you help. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become KAILAShians.
I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that.
KAILASA is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. KAILASA is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you, aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life.
Nithyananda, welcome back. And we're going to be moving on into the next segment of today's program. I hope that every one of you who has been able to receive a body scan was able to benefit from that, or feeling the effects and feeling good that you're having a spiritual solution. And more so than any solution, these can directly give you the solutions for many of our problems without having the hassle of side effects and other different kinds of problems that we might have in the modern day. So now let's move on into the next segment of today's program, which is on the divine feminine consciousness, understanding the Devi Parashakti and her powerful cognitions, the powerful cognitions which she embodies. Now, let us begin by chanting the Dhyana Shloka of Devi Parashakti. Sindhuraruna vigraham trinayana manikyamoli skurat taranayaka shekaram smitamuki mapina vakshoruham Panibhyam alipurna ratna chashakam raktotpala bibratim saumyam ratna gatasta ratna charanam dhyayet paramambika. It means the Divine Mother is to be meditated upon as shining in vermilion red body with triple eyes, sporting a crown of rubies studded with the crescent moon, and a face all smiles, a splendid bust, one hand holding a jewel cup brimming with mead, and the other twirling a red lotus. This Dhyana Shloka is from Lalita Sahasranamam, and now we'll be chanting the next Dhyana Shloka. Arunam karuna tarangitakshim dritapasham kusha pushpa bana chapam animati biravritam mayuke rahamityeva vibhavaye bhavani. And this means, I meditate on the great Empress. She is red in color and her eyes are full of compassion, and she holds the noose, the goad, the bow, and the flowery arrow in her hands. She is surrounded on all sides by powers such as anima for race, and she is the self within me. This verse beautifully describes Devi Parashakti, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism appears just as this verse describes, with eyes full of compassion, holding the noose, the goad, the bow, and the flowery arrow. All of this is what Swamiji beautifully gives us the darshan as during the Devi Parashakti Bhava Samadhi darshan. And Devi is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. Parashakti is the cosmic mother. It is from her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes comes out and goes in. And she is the source where the Big Bang and the black hole go on. And Parashakti is the source Shakti, the source energy, and the source power from which all of us came, in which all of us are in now, and when all of us are going to march. And out of her extreme love and compassion, Devi Parashakti is manifesting through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, gracing us and answering all of our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons and healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. And in the words of Devi Parashakti herself, as she introduces us to her, She says, raising as Omkara, expressing as the Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Klimkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in the 40 triangles, the Kailasa Swamini, who is Kailasa Sri Purachintamani, Parashodasi, sitting as part of Paramashiva, Parameshwari, who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manonmani Meenakshi, as Nithyananda, I took the Nijavatara here, to give good boons to everyone, to bestow all goodness, Hiranyagarbha Swarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparana, Uma Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samrajya Lakshmi, Parameshwari Parashodasi Meenakshi, taking the form of Nithyananda, I am blessing, listen people. To do good to all of you, I took the form of Nithyananda and came down as Nijavatara. In this beautiful, eloquent verse, Devi Parashakti is literally describing herself, her own creation, how she manifested from just Omkara and then to the Vedas and Agamas and then to all the different Shaktis. And now she continues raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva, Shiva manifesting as the source of existence, powers of existence, expression of existence, from the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Ichcha, Kriya, and Jnana Shakti, growing as the four Vedas, expanding as five Panchabhutas, beyond the six chakras, filled as the gotras of seven rishis, expanding as 8 directions, existing as 9 grahas, blossoming as the 10 indriyas, being as 11 rudras, creating all the worlds, bringing light, and to tell and make truth blossom, to do good, Parashodasi Meenakshi, in the form of Nithyananda, I came to bless every one of you. And how can we receive Devi Parashakti in the best way possible? Swamiji has given us that beautiful answer and that secret to how we can receive Devi Parashakti. Swamiji says, you can take 2 betel leaf, 2 betel nut, and banana, 1 coin. The coin is considered to be traditional dakshina in the Hindu tradition. And that coin you can take, and all of these things just offer when you are watching the Devi Parashakti Akashic Reading, offer to Devi, and you can send the coins to KAILASA in Los Angeles once they have accumulated to a good amount. And it doesn't mean that Swamiji is monetizing. It's not a way to monetize, but a way that can break through your unconscious behavior. And you can keep even 1 cent, even 1 penny, or you can keep 1 paise if you're from India. But Swamiji beautifully says that if you offer this to Devi, the monotonous, unconscious behavior inside of us breaks. And rituals are there just to do that for us. You can offer that today, Devi, and after the darshan is over, do the namaskaram and eat the banana, the betel leaf, and the betel nut, and take it as prasadam immediately. You can collect those coins and send it to the Kailasa in Los Angeles temple. And the betel leaf, the betel nut may look too small, but in a few days you'll see how much it adds to your sentiment. That really Devi Parashakti is there. You will not take the Devi darshan for granted. Rituals will break your monotonous, unconscious mentality and lifestyle and remind you and raise you to the powerful cognition. It will break your unconscious behavior. And this is something that we can do in order to deeply show our love, our gratitude for Devi Parashakti. And there are so many different ways that you can show your love, your gratitude as well. This is just the simplest offering that you can do, but there are ways that you can even offer gold. Ritualistically, you can offer the chanting of the Sahasranama Archana. All of these are great, beautiful offerings that you can also do to Devi Parashakti, and we'll be discussing those at a later time in this segment. So as you can see here, we have the 2 betel leaf, the banana, the betel nut, and coin, and you can set it up in the as it is set up in the plate at the center of the slide, and the coconut, the flowers, the glass bangles, and red vastram are all optional, but the basic minimum that you should be having is the banana, the betel leaf, the betel nut, and the coin. So make sure that next time there is the Devi Parashakti Bhava Samadhi Darshan, you can have this ready for you, and it'll be the best way for you to experience Devi Parashakti. Now we're going to be moving on into the next segment, which is understanding the Akashic readings of Devi Parashakti. As Devi Parashakti has manifested, she has not only guided individuals and answered questions, but also guided humanity as a whole. And as a strong and powerful message for the 2 billion Hindus all over the world, Devi Parashakti gave us the sacred secret of Hindu birth, and something that each and every one of us Hindus should deeply cognize inside of us and start to implement, start to change as per what Devi Parashakti is revealing. Now let us see what Devi Parashakti has revealed on the 31st of May 2021 as the sacred secret of Hindu birth.
நன்றாய் கேட்டுக்கொள். உன் கேள்விக்கு உன்மூலமாய் உலகெங்கும் இருக்கும் இந்துக்கள் எல்லோர்க்கும் அளிக்கின்றேன் உத்திரம். கேட்டு வாழ்ந்தால் உங்கள் வாழ்க்கை பத்திரம். நன்றாய் கேளுங்கள். பிறப்பின் ரகசியத்தை பிறப்பிலா பெருமை உடைய பரமேஸ்வரி சொல்லுகின்றேன் கேளுங்கள். அண்டஜம், யோனிஜம், ஜலஜம், பீஜம் எனும் 4 விதமான பிறவிகளில் 84,000 யோனிகளில் பிறக்கும் பிறப்புகளிலேயே பெருமை வாய்ந்ததும் உத்தமமானதும் மனிதப் பிறவி. அந்த மனிதப் பிறவியிலும் பலமுறை பிறந்து உழன்று அரசியல், பொருளாதாரம், சுகபோகம், தர்மம், அர்த்தம், காமம் எனும் ஆசைகள், துக்கங்கள், அச்சங்கள் அனைத்திலும் அழன்று உழன்று இனி வேண்டாம் இப்பிறவி, வேண்டுவது மோட்சமே என்று முடிவெடுத்தோர்க்கு மட்டுமே ஹிந்து மத யோனிஜம், ஹிந்து பெற்றோர்க்கு பிறந்திடும் சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம். மனித பிறவி உத்தமம், சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித பிறவி உத்தமோத்தமம். இந்த உத்தமோத்தம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோருக்கும் ஜீவன் முக்த விஞ்ஞானத்தையும் சனாதன தர்மத்தையும் காக்கின்ற கடமையும் உண்டு. அதனால் வருகின்ற நன்மையெல்லாம் அனுபவிக்கும் உரிமையும் உண்டு. இந்த கடமையை செய்வோம் என்று சத்தியம் செய்ததனால்தான் அந்த உரிமை அளிக்கப்பட்டது. பூமிக்கு வந்தபின் மனம் மயங்கி மதிமயங்கி சனாதன தர்மம் காக்க மறந்ததனால் மாயை அவர்கள் உயிரை பறிக்கின்றாள். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மத்தை காப்போம் என்று உறுதி எடுத்தவர்க்கே சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம யோனிஜம் அளிக்கின்றேன் யான். உடல் பெற்ற பிறகு ஊழிப் பெருவலியால் ஆசை அச்சங்களை உதறவிடாது, உதறியும் விடாது சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்தோரை உயிர் வாழத் தகுதியில்லாதவர் பட்டியலில் உடனடியாய் மாயை சேர்க்கின்றாள். அதனால் ராட்சசர்களும் அசுரர்களும் தானாகவே இவர்கள் உயிரை எடுக்கின்றார். நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உயிரை கொடுத்தாலும் தர்மம் காப்போம் என்று நிற்பவர்க்கு நிலைத்திடும் வீரஸ்வர்க்கமும் கைலாச பதவியும், எக்காரணம் கொண்டும் தர்மம் காக்க மறந்த உத்தமோத்தம ஜனனமான சனாதன ஹிந்து ஜனனம் பெற்ற மக்களுக்கு இல்லை வேறு கதி. சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம மனித ஜனனம் உத்தமோத்தம மனித ஜனனம். உங்கள் உரிமை உலகில் அதிகம், உங்களுக்கு கடமையும் உலகில் பெரிது. தர்மம் காத்தாலே கடமை, தர்மம் காக்காதார்க்கு உயிர் வாழும் உரிமை இல்லை. நன்றாய் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உத்தமோத்தம பிறவியான சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்ம பிறவி எடுத்த எல்லோரும் புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். உங்கள் வாழ்வின் முதற்கடமை தர்மம் காத்தல். தர்மம் காக்க தர்மம் உங்களை காக்கும். சனாதன ஹிந்து தர்மம் காக்க மறந்திட்டால் வாழும் உரிமையை நீங்கள் இழந்து விடுகின்றீர்கள். அதற்கு மேல் வாழ்ந்தென்ன அழிந்தென்ன? பூமிக்கு பாரம் குறையட்டும் என்று அசுரர்களும் ராட்சதர்களும் உங்களை உண்டு தீர்க்கின்றார்கள். அதையும் மாயை கண்டு சும்மாவிருப்பாள். பிரபஞ்ச ரகசியத்தை, பிறவியின் ரகசியத்தை உலகிற்கெல்லாம் உத்தரமாய்ச் சொல்லிவிட்டேன். புரிந்து வாழ்வில் நடந்து உயிரை பத்திரமாய் பார்த்துக் கொள்ளுங்கள். அன்னை சொல்லும் அருள் சத்தியம் இது. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
Yes, now I'm going to say what Devi Parashakti had revealed in English. Listen, Andajam, Yonijam, Jalajam, Bijam, like this in 4 types of births in 800 and 400,000 yonis in all these births. In the most greatest birth of them is the human birth. Even in that, the human birth, being born and toiled many times after getting burnt and toiled in politics, in finance, in luxuries, in dharma, artha, and kama. And those who decide of not wanting this birth, wanting only moksha, only those will have the Hindu Dharma Yonijam, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma Yonijam of being born to Hindu parents. The human birth is Uttamam, the best, and Sanatana Hindu Dharma birth is Uttamottamam, best of the best. Everyone who took this Uttamottama birth has the responsibility of protecting the science of living enlightenment and Sanatana Dharma. And also, they have the right of experiencing its benefits. This right was given to them because of their commitment given by them to do this responsibility. And after coming to the Bhuloka, by getting mentally deluded and forgetting the Dharma, protecting Sanatana Dharma, Maya, she is taking away all their soul. Understand carefully, I am giving Sanatana Hindu Dharma Yonijam for those who gave the commitment of protecting Sanatana Dharma even by giving their life. And after getting the body because of painful deluge, not dropping fear and greed for those who forgot to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Maya, she will immediately take them all to the list. She will immediately add them all to the list of those who are not worthy of living. Therefore, Rakshasas and Asuras are automatically taking away their lives. Understand properly, for those who stand that even by giving their life, they will protect Dharma, will permanently have Veera Swarga and Kailasa Padavi. And there, for any reason, people who forgot to protect Dharma, having the Uttamottama birth of Sanatana Hindu Dharma birth, there is no other way for them. And Sanatana Hindu Dharma birth is Uttamottama human birth. Your rights in this world are immense. Also, your responsibility in this world is large. Protecting Dharma is responsibility. And those who do not protect Dharma, they do not have the right to live. Understand properly, all those who took the Uttamottama birth, which is Sanatana Hindu Dharma birth, all of you understand. The first responsibility of your life is protecting Dharma. If you protect Dharma, Dharma will protect you. If you forget to protect Sanatana Hindu Dharma, you lose the right of living. After that, what bothers whether you live or get destroyed? Asuras and Rakshasas will eat you, so the burden on earth is reduced. And seeing that Maya, she will keep quiet. Now let us understand the responsibility that each and every one of us Hindus have, and the greatness of the Hindu civilization that we had lived in. Hinduism represents the world's most ancient yet progressive indigenous spiritual tradition. It is the most open framework model of civilization that stands for global peace, vegetarianism, non-violence, yoga, worship of nature, temple-based living, manifesting spiritual powers, and inherent divinity of every single being. And Hinduism has contributed so much in each and every one of these fields, and is the primary doctrines, religions that has ensured that each and every one of these principles is lived out as a lifestyle. And the Hindu nations were ecosystems where more and more enlightened beings could be produced, so that enlightened civilization could be kept alive, its great gifts shared with the world. So across Hinduism, in all the fields, in every single different aspect, whether it is Gurukul, whether it is the Hindu libraries, or whether it is the upbringing of Sanatana Hindu Dharma in the households, the families, every single aspect had prepared enlightened beings to be born, to happen, and to again and again be guiding the entire humanity, the entire civilization at that time. So let us see a little bit more into the Hindu nation, the Hindu civilization that once had existed on planet Earth, was one of the most successful and thriving religions and civilizations as well. This is an example from the Ramaraja and a quotation from Valmiki Ramayana from the Yuddha Kanda. And the Hindu nation ruled by Bhagavan Rama was described. There were no widows to lament, nor was there any danger from wild animals, nor any fear born of diseases. The world was bereft of thieves and robberies. No one felt worthless, nor did old people perform obsequies concerning youngsters. Every creature felt pleased. Everyone was intent on virtue, turning their eyes toward Rama alone. Creatures did not kill one another. And people survived for thousands of years with thousands of their progeny, all free of illness and grief. The trees were bearing flowers and fruits regularly without any injury by pests and insects. The clouds were raining in time, and the wind was delightful to touch. Every caste was performing their own duties, satisfied with their work and bereft of any greed. People were intent on virtue and lived without telling lies. All the people were endowed with excellent characteristics. All were engaged in virtue. And another example of the great Hindu civilization is the Hastinapur kingdom ruled by Yudhishthira. And in the Srimad Mahabharata and the Ashwamedhika Parva, it says, Devas granted rains to fulfill all wants, and the world became free of all disease. There was no hunger or thirst anywhere. There was no mental suffering. Those without livelihood were given livelihood. There was an abundance all around. There were no worldly worries left for anyone, and there was no cause of fear either. Happiness on earth was in fact greater than in the heavens. It's such a beautiful way to describe the actual lifestyle, the way that people had lived in Hindu civilization, where happiness on earth was even in fact greater than it was in the heavens. And if you look at these quotations deeply, and you see the highlights, so many of the things are what today our society is looking towards building. For example, giving livelihood when people do not have livelihood, having no mental suffering, no greed, having no crimes being committed against people, and each person having the right to have a blissful, conflict-free life. And many of these are even what the United Nations has declared as Sustainable Development Goals. And this is something that we're all striving for today. However, we should see that there is a civilization on planet Earth that has lived each and every one of these as a reality. Hinduism has so much to contribute to the world, and in every field, whether it comes to enlightenment, health, medicine, art, science and technology, aviation, dance and music, clothes and jewelry, social system, judicial system, political system, or legal system, there's so much that in every field, Hindu nations have to contribute. Excuse me, the next slide, please. But today, we're definitely not the picture of perfection, of absolute advanced sciences and so much of positive living that we once were. What happened to Hindu society? What happened to the Hindu civilization? And why are we living in seeing the reality as it is today? We're going to be going over the destruction of the Hindu civilization that happened in 3 phases. The first phase was the Islamic invasion, which happened from 800 to 1700 AD. And this was marked as the physical destruction of the Hindu civilization. Will Durant, one of the historians who has recorded some of the obsequies done against the civilization, against the Hindu civilization, has said that Mohammedan conquest of India is probably the bloodiest story in history. The Islamic historians and scholars have recorded with great glee and pride the slaughters of Hindus, forced conversions, abduction of Hindu women and children to slave markets, and destruction of temples carried out by the warriors of Islam during 800 to 1700 AD. Millions of Hindus were converted to Islam by sword during this period. Millions more were raped, murdered, and dismembered. And in another quotation, describing the Islamic law prescribed for Hindus as conveyed to Aladdin Khilji by his Qazi, or which is called a legal advisor, it says the Hindus are like mud. If silver is demanded from them, they must provide with the greatest humility gold. And if Mohammedan desires to spit in a Hindu's mouth, they should open it wide for that purpose. God created Hindus to be slaves of Muhammadans. The Prophet hath ordained that. If Hindus do not accept Islam, they should be imprisoned, tortured, and finally put to death, and their property confiscated. To keep the Hindus in abasement is especially a religious duty, because they are the most inveterate enemies of the Prophet. And this is recorded by Abdullah Basaf from 1606 and shows the kind of sentiment that in Muslim invaders had propagated, had perpetuated in order to demean and enslave an entire civilization and bring down an entire civilization. And you can see here some of the very graphic portrayals of what happened during that time. In a quotation by Kanhadade Prabhanda from 1456 AD, it says, the conquering armies burned villages, devastated the land, plundered people's wealth, took Brahmins and children and women of all classes captive, flogged with thongs of raw hide, carried a moving prison with them, and converted the prisoners to obsequious Turks. And in a summary, the total number of Hindus slaughtered during the Muslim invasions was 200 million. The number of temples destroyed was 100,000, and the number of deities and sculptures destroyed was 1 million. And the next slide, please. Yes. So though Islamic invasions had been a physical destruction to the Hindu civilization, still we were able to some level, be able to rebuild back and to ensure that our entire civilization was able to come back to its original position. For example, a well-known example is the Somanath temple, which had been destroyed 16 times, and every single time rebuilt back to its original glory. But during 1700 to 1947, the British occupation of the entire Hindu civilization had done the psychological destruction of the people and the psyche of the whole civilization. And this was one of the crimes that done to Hinduism that really made it completely come to its knees. An entire civilization enslaved, and heritage, scriptures, and traditional knowledge, many of which was completely lost. And the British Empire used all possible means to destroy Hindu civil and cultural institutions in order to delegitimize and demoralize the indigenous peoples of India. So they became slaves in their own homeland. And that also meant discriminatory laws to instill feelings of racial inferiority, engineered famines to starve natives into submission, annexed Hindu kingdoms to undermine native rule, mistranslated Hindu scriptures to instill anti-Hindu narratives, destroyed indigenous Gurukul education system, destroyed the local industries and forced importation of British goods, and banned Indians from owning or producing firearms. And this is just 7 of the many tactics and cunning strategies that was used by the British occupation against the Hindu civilization. And the British had justified their subjugation, their colonization, and the entire destruction of many indigenous groups, with Hindus being at the forefront of their subjugation, using theories of scientific racism and social Darwinism. The British had justified their conquest and oppression of the dark-skinned people as a humanitarian civilizing mission, as though they were someone who is civilized and they needed to bring this kind of civility to the rest of the world. Even though it was a mere cover for racial oppression and economic exploitation. And in Charles Kingsley, a celebrated professor, had even said that sorry, if we can go to the previous slide. Yes. So Charles Kingsley, one of the friends of Charles Darwin, as well as the priest of Church England in 1846, had said, "Do you not see then that by following these studies you are walking in the very path to which England owes her wealth, to the glorious work which God seems to have laid on English race to replenish the earth and subdue it." So it was seen as a justified theory, the British master race theory, in order to completely colonize the entire world. And with this theory, with this pride at hand, they had become the largest empire in the world, mostly through subjugation, through colonization, and by instigating massacres in all indigenous populations. James Mill also had said that the Hindus are full of dissimulation and falsehood, the universal concoctements of oppression. The vices of falsehood, indeed, they carry to a height almost an example among other races of men. As for religion, no people have drawn a more gross and disgusting picture of the universe than what is presented in the writings of Hindus. And very few words are required regarding Islam, because the superiority of Mohammedans in respect of religion is beyond all dispute. In truth, the Hindu, like the eunuch, excels in the qualities of a slave, and the Mohammedan is more manly. And in this way, James Mill had been propagating for a strategy that was adopted by the British called divide and rule, where in order to rule over the population in the subcontinent of India and other countries, they had instigated a strategy to divide and rule, divide the two communities, Hindus and Muslims, and also ensure that they are imposing their own rule over both communities and both religions. And this had been one of the backbones of the 200 years of intense racial hatred towards Hindus, and what had made it successful even until today. So a little bit more about the divide and rule strategy that the British had used. Shashi Tharoor had explained that the British had been horrified during the revolt of 1857 to see Hindus and Muslims fighting side by side under each other's command against the foreign oppressor. And they vowed that this would not happen again. Divide et impera was the old Roman maxim, and it shall be ours, wrote Lord Elphinstone. A systematic policy of fomenting separate consciousness among the two communities was launched with overt British sponsorship. And once again, this is a quotation from Shashi Tharoor, who wrote In the Era of Darkness in 2016. Another strategy, which is horrifying and probably one of the most brutal things done in the history of mankind, was engineered famines in order to break the spirit of a whole civilization. Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in 1943, as an answer to why these famines were ongoing against the Bengal population, said, "I hate Indians. They are a beastly people with a beastly religion. The famine was their own fault for breeding like rabbits." And this was the kind of sentiment that even the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom had towards the Hindus. However, the truth was, it was harsh British taxation, export policies, and poor infrastructure management that caused multiple famines in India, claiming tens of millions of lives, most recently in Bengal in 1943. And it was not just government mismanagement, but also engineered famines, a plot in order to neglect the entire population and ensure they do not have food. In fact, food, money, all of this was shipped out of India in massive loads in order to engineer these famines. And Indians, as a result, were forced to eat leaves, grass, and human flesh, and parents threw their starving children into rivers and wells, while others committed suicides in order to escape the living hell that they were in. And there's really no worse way that you can break a psychology of civilization by literally starving millions of people to death. And as well, another way that the British had done this is when is by destroying the local industry to ensuring dependence and poverty. Prior to colonial rule, India was in the world's leading textile manufacturer and produced the finest of fabrics. The British engaged in systematic campaign to destroy the local handloom industry through harsh taxation and export policies that forced India to import British-made textiles and banned Indian textiles from being sold in foreign markets. Within a generation, Indian weavers were turned into beggars and their indigenous skills were lost forever. And this shows India and the Hindu civilization, what it had to contribute to the world, including the textile industry and the, of course, the sacred Hindu sciences, and as well, even the indigenous skills, the arts of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Each and everything was a way that the Hindu civilization had contributed to the world. But in order to mine this, the richness of Hinduism and the economy of Hindus, the British had made the local trade and craft, as well as arts and all these businesses, indigenous business, completely illegal. And by 1878, in the Indian railway mechanics in Jamalpur in Bengal and Ajmer in Rajputana had become so proficient at maintaining locomotive trains that they started designing and building their own models at a fraction of the cost than the imported British trains. The British Parliament responded by passing an act in 1912 banning all local manufacture of trains in order to ensure India's economic dependence on colonial masters and to destroy their native technological know-how. And this shows us the source of economic dependence that many Hindus feel and are operating under until today. And by leaving all of the greatest sciences, by abandoning the source from which Hindus have gotten their knowledge, the stability, the mental setup, the Hindus have completely adopted a Western lifestyle and forgone the history and the heritage that we have inherited. And of course, colonial subjugation had also meant seizure, taxation, and the ruin of Hindu temples. In a journal maintained by the British, it was recorded that it was a strange but determined piece of policy when throughout the country the pagoda lands were resumed by the East India Company and the Tuesday allowances were granted in their place. Now let us contemplate the result of this plan. From one end of the country to the other, the pagodas are ruined, unmaintained, and the revenues are tributary are on a gradual decline and will die in the lapse of years. A natural death. And some of the most celebrated temples in the country are worse off, but there are still, alas, many more strongholds of the devil. So in this quotation, you can see that the temples, the seizure of temples, looting of temples was a huge loss that had been undergone during the British Empire. Not only had temples been destroyed previously by the by the Muslim invaders, but now they were being looted and further destroyed, ensuring that they would not be able to be built back up again by various different complicated structures that were imposed against Hindus. And another way that the colonial subjugation happened during the British time period is by spreading anti-Hindu false narratives. And British rulers have perpetuated the narrative that Indians were generally illiterate and education was restricted to high-caste Hindus. But their own surveys revealed that every village had at least one school, and Shudras and low-caste children constituted 70 to 84% of the students. And in contrast, a century of direct British misrule of India left the population with a dismal 12% literacy rate. And this is from the Survey of Indigenous Education in Madras Presidency from 1822 to 1826. So we're seeing how the false Hindu narrative that has even today, until today, been spread by anti-Hindus and the British, that Hindus are illiterate and that education is restricted to certain castes. All of this is fed deeply with anti-Hindu narratives, with prejudiced with prejudiced means and so much more, just in order to destroy Hinduism and the civilization, justify the destruction of the civilization as well. And another way that the British had this colonial subjugation and ensured the control of the entire civilization was by creating a class of brown British natives. And Thomas Macaulay, from the Minute on Education, had presented this strategy as a way that the British can adopt more control over the billions of Hindus that had lived in the Indian subcontinent. And Thomas Macaulay had said that we must at present do our best to form a class of who may be interpreters between us and the millions whom we govern, a class of persons, Indian in blood and color, but English in taste, in opinions, in morals, and in intellect. To that class we may leave it to refine the vernacular dialects of the country, to enrich those dialects with terms of science borrowed from the Western nomenclature, and to render them degrees fit for vehicles for conveying knowledge to the great mass of population. And we see that while there was a class of brown British natives that had adopted English taste, opinions, morals, and intellect, and while they were still, of course, Indian in blood and color, they were also subjugated, ridiculed by their white masters, and even called as Bengali babus for their ornate speech, their self-importance, and their fawning attitude towards any Westerner they had met. And in this way, they had literally broken the psychology by ensuring that the angelicized brown British native clerks of India had been completely subjugated under the British and had even been ridiculed and continued their subjugation in this way. And this also continued into Hindu Rajas, and by converting native Hindu Rajas into proper British gentlemen. And from the Mayo College, it was reported that, concerned at the raising awareness of nationalism after the Indian Mutiny of 1857, the British realized that to strengthen their hold in India, they began just a handful needed to widen their political and psychological management of India and the Indians. And thus they began to focus on the education of native princes in the pursuit of objective in Macaulay's Minute on Education of 1837, to create a class of people Indian in blood and color, but English in opinions and morals and in intellect, and became the cornerstone for their strategy. So this was one of the ways that the British had ensured that even if they do not control the population, they are able to impose a certain structure, a certain class of people that are highest or revered as highest or among the entire social structure, and are given certain benefits and are educated and are able to succeed in the new British society that they themselves have created. And they also had ensured that the sannyasis, the sadhus, and the aghoris, all of the sampradayas of Hinduism, were also outcasted from the civilized society. And the main example of this is from the Criminal Tribes Act of 1871. The British government passed the Criminal Tribes Act, where various ethnic communities were deemed submersive to colonial authorities simply because they did not conform to their ideas of civilized living. And targeted populations such as sadhus and sannyasis were presumed guilty by birth, murdered, raped, arrested, had children separated from parents, and were quarantined without conviction or due process. And upon release of the British custody, targeted communities were subject to surveillance and given tattoos to stigmatize them and to make them easier to enslave. So this is another example. We also see in the next slides and more examples of these kinds of acts that were done in order to subjugate and in order to criminalize the indigenous sampradayas. This is how they were wiped out so many of the sampradayas, whereas there were 10,000 different sampradayas in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Today, only a handful of those are continuing. And another example, as I was saying, is the Thuggy and Dacoity suppression acts, and in an effort to further demonize Hindus and feed the stereotype of the savage Oriental, British authorities and media sensationalized stories of bloodthirsty Thuggis or bandits who would offer human sacrifices to the wicked and fearsome goddess Kali. And in addition to denigrating Hindu culture, the narrative of the Thuggi menace was also used to justify colonial rule, suspend civil liberties, and target subversive elements that challenged British hegemony. So in a conclusion, in a summary, the British occupation had in total looted over $45 trillion from India, and 45 million Hindus were dead due to famines and poverty imposed by British policies in reprisal, and 680 native kingdoms were usurped by the British Raj. And again, another quote from Shashi Tharoor had said that the British came to one of the richest countries of the world, and over 200 years of exploitation, looting, and destruction reduced it to the poster child of third world poverty. However, this does not yet end the destruction of Hinduism and the degradation of Hinduism till its state today. Upon the partition of India and upon India receiving and having its own constitution, even after the British left, the brown British successors and their next generation had continued on the hatred towards Hindus that was instilled from 200 years of oppression and colonial subjugation. In fact, even Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, had said, "What a disgusting, savage people we are. Politics, progress, socialism, communism, and science, where are they before this black religious savagery? India can never be a Hindu republic." And like this, we have examples of so many different architects of India's modern constitution, and the people who had the most power in forming India's government today that were absolutely against a Hindu republic, and therefore had ensured that they would continue to subjugate, continue to marginalize, and exterminate Hindus as much as possible. In fact, even B.R. Ambedkar, who was India's first prime law minister and principal architect of the Indian constitution, had said that if Hindu Raj does in fact become a fact, it will no doubt be the greatest calamity for this country. No matter what Hindus say, Hinduism is a menace to liberty, equality, and fraternity, and it is incompatible with democracy. Hindu Raj must be prevented at any cost. This is a quotation from B.R. Ambedkar, which demonstrates the amount that these people who had been there in 1940s until 1950, while the country was still forming and growing its roots, establishing its roots for today's modern day government, it was these people that had formulated an anti-Hindu environment in India itself, ensuring that even in its homeland, there would be no way that India could be brought back to its original glory, and its teachings could be further diluted and lost. And the modern Indian legal system, academia, and media all systematically undermine, suppress, and delegitimize Hindu institutions and culture. India's constitution established governmental control and taxation over Hindu temples, schools, while other religions are free from interference. Articles 26 to 30 of India's constitution discriminates against Hindus by giving special rights and benefits to non-Hindus, government benefits, scholarships, etc. And Hindu kingdoms and self-governance were abolished, anti-superstition laws passed to criminalize Hindu practices, and mainstream Indian academics describe Hindus as racist, sexist, backwards, and oppressors, and negative media portrayals of Hindus in Bollywood also continue to perpetuate the negative anti-Hindu narratives that were started 200 years ago by the British. The next slide, please. And as well, media narratives were used to stereotype and demoralize Hindus. Bollywood and other mainstream media outlets consistently portray Hindu gods and gurus as cartoonish, dishonest, corrupt, sex fiends in a manner similar to British imperial propaganda. Media narratives are used to shape human consciousness and further political agendas. Racist British colonial stereotypes portraying Hindus as superstitious, backwards, dishonest, and corrupt are perpetuated by their brown British successors in modern India unabated. And we can see here the images of the posters that are examples of the false Hindu narratives that are spread and the propaganda that is continuously used in order to shape India's psyche, the youth of today, and the next Hindu generation. And you can see that much of the way that it's portrayed, it reminds you of how British imperial propaganda did look and how it was used against Hindus. And however, these are from 2012, 2014, and even until this year, 2021, we still have films, serials, and so much more being used against Hindus as a grand media narrative. So that is how the Hindu civilization has been destroyed until today. Now, let us understand what we need to do as Hindus. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has boldly stood for a vision of a Hindu civilization. Swamiji beautifully declares that during the time of Mahabharata, we had 56 deshas, 200 states, 1700 samsthanas, 10,000 sampradayas, and in all 56, we are persecuted. Now we have lost all 56, and the last one to fall was Nepal. I am the collective voice of all the persecuted Hindus. I will revive and rebuild a Hindu nation built on Vedagamic principles as a refuge for all practicing and aspiring Hindus, a safe haven for all persecuted Hindus. Swamiji boldly stands for this vision, a vision where Hindus need not be persecuted and Hinduism is protected from dying, from being lost forever. The revival of KAILASA is a Hindu nation for reviving this whole life, enlightened civilization, and all the greatest things it has to offer to the world, bringing legitimacy to all the offerings of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and sharing it with the whole world is the purpose of KAILASA, the Hindu nation. KAILASA is a revival of the cosmic constitution. KAILASA is a model nation of how enlightened civilization should be living and administered. Politics, judiciary, education, economy, everything will be revived as Paramashiva revealed in the Vedagamic Sanatana Hindu Dharma scriptures. And being one of the most persecuted civilizations, Hinduism is on the brink of extinction, such that the next generation may know Hinduism only through history books, and history books that do not even tell the full story. So what can we do as Hindus to stand up for Hindu civilization and all that it has to offer to the world? Today, Hinduism is a political orphan. The preservation and restoration of Hinduism's spiritual and cultural heritage is impossible without a national identity. We have to ask ourselves now, what can we do to save Hinduism? What is our responsibility? First and foremost, each and every one of us has to reclaim our Hindu identity. As Devi Parashakti has revealed in the Parashakti Akashic Reading of 31st of May 2021, which we saw earlier in this segment, our rights in this world are immense and our responsibility in this world is also large. As we have been able to achieve the best in the world, and Hindus are many times successful, healthy, wealthy, rich, respected in countries all over the world, it is our responsibility also to ensure that Hinduism is protected, and even in the countries where Hinduism is a dying population, that we are attending and we are owing and taking up a responsibility to ensure Hinduism does have a way to be protected. If you are healthy, wealthy, or if you're rich, respected, if you have a stable family, if you have the best mental setup, we have to remember Hinduism is what has gifted us these noble qualities. Hindu identity is responsible and Hindu scriptures are responsible. It is the Hindu scriptures which has given us the best mental setup, and all the best things that we have, Hindus have, the Hindu scriptures are responsible. Whether it is the perfect household system that had come from example of the Ramaraja, or the best way to manifest wealth that had come from the science revived and the civilization revived by Sri Venkateshwara. Every single different aspect of the civilization has something amazing to contribute to the world. Not only that, Hindus are among the most richest and successful ethnic communities in the world, and Hindu scriptures, the Hindu lifestyle, and enlightened masters are responsible for this. In fact, we have so many articles, evidences that share with us how the Hindus are, in fact, a very well-reputed and successful ethnic group in countries around the world. For example, here we have an article from Hindustan Times, which is citing Hindus' most educated religious group in the US, says news report. So it shows that the Hindus are among the top tier, whether it comes to the technological field, whether it comes to academic field and the best researchers in Ivy League universities. The top rankers will always be Hindus, or whether it comes to the top CEOs and technological company CEOs, most of them, many of them will be Hindu, will be coming from a Hindu background. But today, we are completely forgetting our roots. We're completely forgetting what has given us the opportunity to be this successful in this day and age, and abandoning that. And the more and more we abandon those roots, it'll not be there for our future generation to be able to enjoy the fruit as we have. It's not just anti-Hindu elements being active that today is responsible for Hindu destruction, the destruction of Hinduism, but also responsible Hindus being inactive. And it is time that we have to take responsibility for Hinduism and let all Hindus all over the world reclaim our Hindu identity. And this is a responsibility of each and every one of us Hindus. It is the responsibility of Hindus to revive this enlightened civilization again and again and give all the gifts of enlightened civilization to humanity. The revival of KAILASA, the enlightened civilization, is the survival need of humanity. And with so many statistics, even as an example, with the World Health Organization having recording over 264 million people who are suffering from depression, we have the solution in Hinduism for all of these problems, which the world is attending to right now, and which is the crisis at hand. This is an invitation to Hindus all over the world to become a part of this revival. And you can become a part by becoming an e-Kailashian today. You can go to www.kailasa.org and become an e-Kailashian, receive your e-passport, and become a part of Kailasa. Be a part of this grand revival. And there's no one other than the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism who has best described and can give us the best understanding of why a Hindu nation is needed, why Kailasa. So let's now understand.
I have incorporated this Kailasa, nation without borders. Kailasa, nation without borders. In a way, I can say whole universe is the Kailasa. Kailasa, nation without borders. I've incorporated in multiple countries. Each Kailasa will function in their own countries as per that country's law, within that country's law. Understand? The Kailasa is revived to do contribution, uniting the nations for contribution. Hinduism, Veda Agamas have great things to contribute to the world. Like the great power manifestation science, the ancient culture and arts, the ancient lifestyle truths, the ancient medical practices and medicinal knowledge, the ancient indigenous cultural heritage and jewelry, perfume, dance, music. In every level, Hinduism has so much to contribute. Veda Agamic traditions have so much to contribute. To share all this with the world, to contribute to the world. Hindus need to tell the world what they are contributing in every level. The brand of Hinduism itself is enriching and empowering and enlightening. Hinduism is all about enlightening the world. Empowering, enlightening, enriching the world. Contributing. That is our spiritual life. That is our spiritual strength. That is our spiritual core principle. O humanity, I request you with folded hands, some one corner of the world, if you just give me few hundred acres, I will keep this whole science alive. Leave it for the whole humanity freely. Fortunately, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode all this Hindu medicinal system, Hindu judiciary system, Hindu social law and order system, Hindu power manifestation system, Hindu mental sciences system, Hindu yogic sciences, the sciences of Hindu biology, Hindu physics, Hindu psychology, Hindu physiology, Hindu chemistry, all this, Paramashiva has given me the power to decode. Whatever the remaining scriptures are available with the humanity, Paramashiva has blessed me, and I have collected, not only I have collected and organized, I can decode. This whole science can be kept alive in any one corner of the world. Just few hundred acres are given for me to live peacefully and exist peacefully. I can store this whole thing alive and contribute it to humanity. Humanity can become better and better and better. I can make the planet Earth so much better place to live. I am here to contribute, and I will continue to contribute. As long as I am allowed to live, I will contribute. I have collected all the remaining available scriptures, maybe 2 crore books. 2 crore means 20 million, I think, books on Hindu physics, Hindu chemistry, Hindu biology, Hindu physiology, Hindu psychology, Hindu law and order, Hindu social system, the power manifestation sciences of Hinduism, yogic sciences of Hinduism. I have collected, and Paramashiva has given me the blessings and power to decode. I have decoded and continuing to decode them. If the humanity, somebody is kind enough to give me few hundred acres in one corner of the world and let me live peacefully, I can keep all these scriptures there and go on sharing with the world, revealing this whole sciences to the world, and go on contributing. I don't need anything other than 1 cup of curd rice every day. That's all. A cup of curd rice per day over. I can go on be giving this to the world. I can add to the world. I can make the world better place to live. That's all I have to say. Thousands of medicines are described detail in ancient Siddha and Ayurvedic scriptures. Paramashiva has given me the power to decode them, read them, and properly translate and map them to the modern day human language. And I am ready to work 20 hours a day. I just need few hundred acres where I can sit peacefully and keep this library, run a Gurukul where thousands of people can learn this and share it with the world, understand. I am only interested in contributing. If we can decode all this great knowledge, whole world can prosper from this knowledge. Whole world can enjoy from this knowledge. If I prosper, I will only create a university. I will not create anything else. If the Hindus prosper, they will only create education institutions. Because Hinduism is all about giving, contributing. If I prosper, I'll create university, that's all. KAILASA is all about university to decode the ancient sciences and share with the world. Understand? Every day I am sitting and going on decoding, writing notes on my books and writing details on my books. Whether it is making human beings manifest powers, and I have also now started downloading and decoding the science of making animals manifest powers. Whether making people manifest powers or healing, in every level, life is all about contribution, contribution, contribution.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om.
Yes. Yes, and that brings us to a conclusion. If you are interested, if you understand the immense amount of work the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing in order to revive Kailasa, then you can become a part of this revival. And once again, you can go to kailasa.org and get your e-passport today and become a part of this revival. Now we'll be moving on into the next segment of today's program, which is on the various different offerings that we can make out of gratitude to Devi Parashakti. Over the course of the last 1 year,
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Yes. So now, before we're moving on in today's celebrations, the Avatar Dhinotsavam celebrations, let us briefly understand the various different offerings that you can make today for and out of gratitude to Devi Parashakti. The first offering that each and every one of you can do is the E-Hundi offering. The E-Hundi offering is a offering that you can make for any amount of donation that you'd like to make, just in order to offer your gratitude, how much ever you can at the moment. This E-Hundi offering is available either through the YouTube Super Chat or through the payment gateways. Yes, we can go on to the next slide. We can go on to the next slide, please. So with this next offering is the Sankalpa offering. Where it says in the Saundarya Lahiri, let the mantras I chant with the sacrifice in my soul let the mantras I chant with the sacrifice in the soul become the chanting of your very name. This Sankalpa offering is a powerful prayer that you can make in order to have the blessings for both the asked and unasked, remembered and forgotten wishes to manifest by the grace of Devi Parashakti. The next offering is the Devi Sahasranama Swarna Kastu, and this offering you can do to manifest and awaken the multiple divine feminine conscious attributes. It's the offering of the divine golden necklace. The next offering is the Mukta Anguti, which you can offer for the blessings for protection from all dangers, offering the symbol of compassion, the pearl ring, to the embodiment of compassion herself, Devi Parashakti. The next offering is the Swarna Padma Pushpa. This offering symbolizes Devi Mahalakshmi herself, and it will bestow the blessings for attracting positive relationships and personal and business dimensions. And we have next the Swaranameti, which is the offering of the golden toe ring, which gives you the blessings for all of the bestowal of blessings, grace of Devi Parashakti in your life. As offering at the feet of Devi Parashakti is the best way that you can achieve the most in your life. Yes, so this gives you the blessings for a life of leadership qualities by offering worship to the divine lotus feet of Devi Parashakti, achieved by even worshipping a tiny grain of dust at her feet. The next offering is the Mang Tika, and this gives the blessings for an enlightened lifestyle, and Devi Parashakti is described as Shuddha Sarvi Varshini, or the she who makes the nectar flow from the Sahasrara Chakra. The next offering you can make is the Pratyakshapada Puja. The Pratyakshapada Puja is the offering of the sacred ritual of puja, Pada Puja, to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And this offering is especially auspicious to be able to offer during the Nithyanandotsavam, Brahmotsavam, the Jayanti celebrations. And whether it is Sri Adi Shankaracharya or even incarnations up until today, and all of the beautiful moments of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with his own Guru, Arunagiri Yogeshwara, this offering of the Pratyakshapada Puja has given the blessings for the sweetest Guru-disciple relationship that we have heard sung time and time again in our scriptures. The next offering is the Vastra Seva. The Vastra Seva is the offering of cloth. The offering of Vastram, or the offering of cloth, to the Guru, which bestows one with the sweetest path to enlightenment with complete protection. So here we have a summary of all of the different offerings that you can be offering. Sankalpa offering, the Devi Sahasranama Swarna Kasu, the Mukta Ankuti, the Swarna Padma Pushpa, the Swarna Metti, and the Mantika, the Pratyakshapada Puja, and the Vastra Seva. Yes, so you can head to KAILASAmailer.com if you're interested in making any one of these offerings, and you'll be able to find the links as well as get the next steps for making an offering and completing your offering today. And you'll also be able to sign up, you'll be able to register to hear more about different offerings, and especially for the Devi Parashakti Akashic Reading offerings, please go to kailasamailer.com/sevas. You'll find a banner for the Nithyanandotsavam Sevas where you can offer the Pratyakshapada Puja. And as well, you can scroll down further and you can find the link for paying or for offering for the Devi Parashakti Bhava Samadhi Darshan offerings. So as you can see here, the first thing you can do is submit your intention to make an offering. And an intention is a powerful sankalpa, a powerful resolution that you're making so that you can manifest being able to make an offering. And if you are ready to make a payment, you can head to the second step and make a payment through the gateway. And finally, after your order is complete, yes, as you can see, you can add Add that to your cart and then proceed to checkout and fill out these details for payment. And finally, after your order is complete, make sure that you are filling out the Sankalpa 2021 form. This ensures that your name is chanted during the puja and all of the benefits of the whole offering is done for you. Yes. So with this, we're now coming to a conclusion of this program, and we're going to be moving on into the next segments and the next events of today's program, which is for the Nithyanandotsav celebrations. We'll now be ending this program with a Purna mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bhagavantam Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.